So, welcome, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
So I'm Diana Layfield. I'm the chair of British International Investment, which is the UK's development finance institution.
Fantastic. So tell us about the work that you do in Africa.
So we invest in Africa primarily for social impact. We invest in the private sector to drive economic growth in the places that need it most. We have a portfolio of close to $1 billion in Africa, and we invest in both equity and debt. So we actively seek risk in the continent, which is slightly different to most investors. Unlike other investors. But we absolutely believe that those businesses that we support over time become commercially viable and commercially investable.
Absolutely. So what are some of the areas that you invest in? Are there some specific areas that you prioritize?
So we invest across the spectrum, but our three focal areas at the moment are climate finance, and that's everything from large-scale solar and wind power projects.
Right.
To give you one example, we've just invested in Planet Solar, which is Sierra Leone's first IPP, first solar IPP.
Right.
And that will contribute an additional uplift of 30% to Sierra Leone's total power generation.
That's incredible.
So the government's trying to move from 28% electrification to 90%. This will be a big step on the way.
And so in what kind of time frame will that happen?
So that should be built within a couple of years.
Okay.
It's already what they call shovel ready, so that's up and running in terms of the work.
Yeah.
But that should land within the next couple of years.
Oh, that's great. That's significant. What else? What else is
Another example would be digital, so digital infrastructure. We have a pretty significant investment in Liquid Telecom, which has looked to build a fiber network across the continent, including in some of the toughest areas like DRC.
Right.
They also build data centers, so we've made an investment in their data center business to ensure that Africa gets reliable access to cloud capabilities.
Right.
And we have some app investments as well at the sort of smaller end of the scale.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges that you face?
Can I just give you one more sector, which is agriculture?
Okay, sure.
Just because I think we're really excited about the potential for food security. And I just want to take an example in Uganda, Kenya, and Nigeria. We've invested in a business called Afrex, which provides warehousing for farmers.
Right.
And I think a couple of the speakers today have noted how much produce goes to waste. The farmers that use this supply chain and warehousing have about 100% uplift in their income as a result of being able to use those warehousing facilities.
Yeah.
So it's really across those three big areas.
Okay, so why Africa?
Why Africa? Because it has enormous potential and enormous need for investment. And I think what we see is the ability to have, if you're investing for transformation and economic growth and social impact, it's one of the most fulfilling areas in the world to invest in. We also have a very long history of investing there. It's about 75 years. We have people on the ground in places like Nairobi and Lagos.
Right.
And I think, again, that's kind of unusual for a DFI, and it gives us an ability to really better understand the markets that we're investing in. So more than 60% of our portfolio is in Africa, so we have a huge commitment.
That's amazing. What is this that you do that will make Africa unstoppable?
I think we will provide the initial risk investment and the seed investment to drive truly exciting transformational businesses in Africa across climate, digital, and food security and beyond.